By now I'm sure you've heard of the most recent Facebook data breach. But Casey, is it even that recent?
No, in fact, it is not that recent.
Yikes.
And there's a ton of confusion surrounding what's actually going on because the media and all the headlines are saying Facebook data breach, 533 million
and millions
of users' accounts have been breached, meaning that their sensitive information has showed up on these hacker forums. And what is funny about it is that everyone's losing their mind thinking that it just happened when in actuality this breach happened in 2019.
Yeah, but which one of those breaches?
Exactly. So Facebook is just finally coming out, being a little more transparent about the breaches that have happened in the past. So what's causing the confusion is that Facebook has actually had a number of breaches in recent years. So is this a combination of the April 2019 breach where 540 million users' accounts were leaked? Was it the 419 million users' accounts that were actually scraped by the bad actors in 2018 before Facebook came out and told everyone in September 2019? Or does this have something to do with the Cambridge Analytica, that massive scandal relating to the third-party data? The answer is actually none of the above, Bernie. So actually what Facebook eventually explained is that this trove of 533 million users' data from 106 countries is from an entirely different data set.
Yikes.
And these attackers actually found a flaw and abused it using the Facebook address book contact imports feature.
Wow.
And though Facebook claims that they patched it back in 2019, they have no idea how many times it was exploited before they caught it.
So a lot.
Exactly. So, I mean, this could just be a very small portion of what was actually scraped during that exploit. And only time's really going to tell.
I think it's safe to assume that if you have a Facebook account, at some point, it's fairly likely that, you've been pwned.
Yep. And that's actually something that you can go and check. If you go to
Really?
haveibeenpwned.com, we'll throw the link up right here. And you can actually punch in your email addresses and see if you've been a part of any breaches that have happened across the internet. I actually did the search today and found out that one of the food subscription services that I was doing during the pandemic, there was a breach in early 2020. And sure enough, my email was compromised and my phone number was compromised.
Yeah, I'm pretty breached on the email side. I changed all my passwords, though. My phone number, surprisingly, not pwned at all.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's best case scenario. I get the robocalls all day long.
Yeah, but I still get the robocalls, so that's kind of that's neither here nor there. I think everybody hates the robocalls. But, like you said, go to haveibeenpwned.com and type in your email address and see how pwned you actually are. But this is just another thing from Facebook when it comes down to, the lack of transparency and also them not really knowing what's going on in terms of, data breaches. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
It's just kind of no matter what, like we were saying, you've probably been pwned if you've been on Facebook at all in the past 5 years.
What this all boils down to is as these attacks and the cyber crimes increase in frequency and severity, yes, it's important for these tech giants, especially Facebook, Google, etc., to be transparent, to immediately let the consumers that were affected know what data was taken from them and how they can help themselves to protect themselves.
But it's Facebook IDs, phone numbers,
so
passwords.
And that's the thing, is that Facebook is saying that, well, it's really not that big of a deal because it's not passwords. They're saying that these are hashed passwords, these are encrypted, they're protected. But I mean, all that other data is still sold on the dark web and can be used to break into accounts. They can be used for social engineering. They can be used for all these things.
Retarget people if you're a scumbag and you like to do that kind of stuff.
Exactly. So, I mean, it's ultimately boiling down to what are you going to do to protect your business and your personal data.
Personally, if I'm in Philadelphia or New Jersey, I'm calling Scott and the boys at Shock IT Support.
Without a doubt. So once you've checked, have you been pwned, then contact Shock IT Support and really sit down and figure out if you're doing everything that you could be doing to protect yourself and your customers. Because data, as you know, is more valuable than oil right now.
It's crazy how valuable data is.
And it's only going to be on the rise. So people, you got to stay vigilant. These things are not going away anytime soon.
No,
obviously, big tech is working to mitigate these risks. But what are you doing to mitigate your own risks?
Exactly, Casey. Very well put. And I think it's a good note to end this on. So everybody, like Casey said out there, make sure you are doing everything you can to protect yourself, your business, and your customers from online attacks and data breaches from the fine folks in the social media world. So until next time, we will see you soon.
Don't get pwned, y'all.
Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this content, please don't forget to follow me at Lance Bachman on Instagram and Twitter. Follow me on Facebook at Lance Bachman Digital. And every Thursday we drop a new podcast. Don't forget to listen to it. We're giving out great content. And remember this is the time to build your business right now. Let's effing go, everybody.